Capitalism takes a break. Yes, it's Big Buzz broadcasting on a YouTube channel with no viewers. Isn't it a little bit sad, indeed? Oh, look, there's an old toxic little car there. Oh, we're all doing our little bit, but less of it, isn't it? We're burning less, which is amazing, actually, for the planet. The planet is sort of like we've been sucking the juice out of the lungs of the planet. And suddenly, things are on pause. Which comes down to a really, really big problem. Greta Thunberg.
I say, the problem is climate change. Yes, climate change. And, I've been reading some of the reports that the scientists say.
Well, your button doesn't work there, Greta.
And, it could be a little bit of a problem.
Really? What are we going to do with a rat? Not sure, actually. Hey, boys and girls! This is Boris Johnson. Time has come for us to all get together, but America is great, and we're gonna send America into space, the whole country. Yes, we're going off into space with real estate and housing. That's where things are, and burning fossil fuel. Well done, Donald Trump. Fairy tales, lots of fairy tales. Boris is still resting. In the NHS, which is sort of weird, because actually he's one person who could actually afford a private bed, I would have thought, and give the old, another person the NHS bed, but still. And so, yeah, I've been actually looking at today, because obviously setting up a TV station, I've got to do research, and it's always been in the back of my mind with my Twitter account. I set up a project to do with a TV station on an island with various stages, and Jerome Flynn is our patron. And really a worthy cause to do with people starting to talk to each other around the world. Now that's the key, talking to each other around the world. And Twitter, obviously, once I had a graph like this, and I was looking at my old diary actually, which was going up, followers. Didn't have to do anything, have 100 followers a day sometimes. And all I was saying about, well, I'm going to do this, and this is what we're going to do, is start talking about peace, love, getting off fossil fuel, and sort of questioning the sort of control and secrecy of our society. Now, you might say this is a conspiracy theory on YouTube, owned by Google and Twitter. God knows who owns Twitter. But I can't help but think. And then I was nobbled to 15, and that's it. For the last couple of years, can't get off 15. Doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter how many people I follow. It doesn't matter the same sort of things I do. Now, I can understand the project might be a bit stale, a bit old. I would lose a certain amount of followers, but I wouldn't lose 5,000 followers and then just plateau off. I think algorithms are playing a part there with Twitter. And the thing is if you think about it, it's about protection. Yes, the oil companies. The oil companies protect their market viciously because they're offshore, they're global. And anybody who comes in with some, let's say, renewable energy, or let's say an idea for free energy, is sort of like thought as competition, and quite rightly they got rid of. And it's the same with Google and YouTube. They've got to a situation of where their backers are very big. Somewhere along the line, they've got some big friends, but they've also got people leaning on them. The Google brothers would have had a visitation from various very high-ranking people in America, I suspect. And they would have said, Google, we like what you're doing. I would suggest we could work together. And suddenly you become to a situation of whereby you try and get rid of competition. And I do think that something that's free, non-profit, and is genuinely open for people, and about talking about ideas and then putting positive solutions forward to saving our planet because capitalism isn't working, could meet some problems. Hence, it doesn't matter me talking because I've got no viewers. So thank God, don't view this, don't subscribe. I'm only joking. Obviously, I don't have to worry yet. Please do subscribe. Do just pass the word around. I want to set up a TV company. Now, I was watching a chap called the Alan Something Show. I have to say, I think it was a bit of a crap show. Anybody who sort of believes the word of David Icke and 5G. 5G, yeah, is an interesting one. It's non-ionizing radiation. I think non-ionizing radiation isn't that bad. Nuclear energy is ionizing radiation. That is bad. And I think what I can say is that it can do auto drive. It could promote electric cars. and it could actually produce a lot of energy in terms of us communicating freely and giving us power. So I think there's a lot of people who would like 5G not to be there for their own benefits. So the mobile phone companies, which is a bit strange. So I think when I see a conspiracy theory, I always question, is that conspiracy theory actually going to hurt the oil companies, or is it going to not hurt the oil companies magically? It's a bit like, I suppose, climate change denial. A lot of my friends say, of course, climate change doesn't exist. I think David Icke comes in here because the oil companies are saying that they have climate change, which is just a bit weird. It contradicts. But somebody pumps out lots of information, misinformation. That's fine, misinformation is fine, but we have science, and which comes down to Boris in bed there. Boris, you okay? Okay, you get well, boy. Still think you should be at a private hospital, paying it. You can afford it, Boris. And so what we have is a situation of Boris Johnson, the government, leadership. And what is interesting about Boris Johnson and leadership, isn't it strange? His Conservative government was following the advice and the ideas of monetarism and the idea about paying the banks back, me paying the debt back, not the billionaires, me and people like myself paying that back, this debt. A lot of my friends said, oh, of course I voted for Boris, we've got to pay the debt back. And yet millionaires don't pay tax, which I find a really bit weird, but that's okay because they're leaders. Leaders don't have to pay tax, which again is a bit weird, although the French Revolution does come to mind there. I'm not saying we want to do anything brash, but paying taxes, and then who's paying and who's going to pay for this bill? I'm interested to know, because there is going to be a bill here at the end of the day. And the fact is the Conservative Party crippled the NHS. The NHS was on its last legs. But what I find about leadership is that when they had a problem in China, and I saw it in, I think it was early January, it started coming to a head, I couldn't understand why we were flying. I thought, hang on, why are we still flying? Then February came, we were still flying, but not only that, I actually phoned my supervisor and I said, look, we've got to close these car parks down. We're getting people coming down for half term, Whitsun, and the bins are full, I'm being contaminated. We didn't have any coronavirus yet. What the hell is going on? There's no leadership. The council should close them down. Cornwall was talking about it. I don't think they did anything. Pembrokeshire County Council, nothing at all. Oh, carry on with the bins, Buzz. No, we have no orders from above. No, carry on. It's all right. They know what they're doing. They didn't know what they were doing, evidently. Now, of course, we're in lockdown. Now we've got coronavirus in Pembrokeshire. So talk about conspiracy theories. Are they deliberately pushing this virus around? And then the NHS, well, it was crippled anyway before the virus, so it wasn't coping. Now, the idea of Big Buzz TV is actually to have a fair footing. So we talk to people all around the world, non-profit, but we gain capital. So we actually set up millions of little companies all around the world, and we gain capital. With that money, it's all non-profit. We plough back and we give to people. Simple as that. And we take the World Bank. We make it a people's bank. Now, I know the problem with that, and if I have had any viewers, is I'd be closed down for saying that. But at some stage, we need to get together. So pass the word around. I am actually thinking about more terrestrial TV companies, more terrestrial radio stations, like Radio 4, BBC, God help us, and to say, look, actually, we need newsworthy stuff, hence why a 300-foot pyramid, and why that we have to do things, and just to pass the word around, because it's going to come from the bottom of the pyramid, so we'll have to turn the pyramid upside down, so all the shit goes to the bottom. We don't have the shit at the top. So anyway, it's Big Buzz TV. I'm heading off home. The bins are empty, except that one. That one had some rubbish in. Anyway, love you. Bye. It was a bit of a serious one. It was all serious business. Anyway, love you. Bye. That was a broadcast by Big Buzz TV station.